Alright, so over the last couple of days, we've been covering not only the best money locations, but also the best money rods. And the most repeated comment inside of each one of those videos has been to cover the best methods to make the most amount of XP. So in today's video, we're going to go over not only the best location, but also the best rod that you should be using for your occasion, because obviously it's going to be a little bit different for everyone, mainly depending on your level, but also on your finances. So to start things off, let's pretty much get the rods out of the way and make this 1000% clear that ideally the rod that you want to be using is going to be the no life rod. Now, the obvious catch here is that you don't unlock the no life rod until you hit level 500. So those of you that are maybe under 500 that are trying to look for ways to potentially get to 500, then this would obviously not be an option for you. But to those of you that are level 500, this is the #1 rod that you want to go for. It unlocks the potential to pretty much use whatever bait you want that has at least a tiny bit of lure speed. And on top of that, it also has really high luck at 105% compared to all of the other options. So you could technically bump this up to be just as good as something like our second option by using something like night shrimp if you're really trying to get your luck super high up. Maybe you're struggling a little bit with actually catching certain things, so instead you want to up your resilience. You can resort to using something like seaweed. Pretty much the options are endless when it comes to actually using the no life rod, but again, it all goes back to that tiny little catch of being level 500. Now, I'm sure you guessed it, but your second option is going to be Rod of the Depth. Something that you've probably noticed already is that you absolutely want to be running clever enchant on every single one of these rods, which is kind of why your options are very limited. You have to look for a rod that has extremely high lure speed, because for XP, you want to be able to catch and move on to the next fish as quick as possible. But on top of that, you also want to have a good amount of luck, because it is going to determine how much XP you make per hour based off of the rarity fish that you're getting. Ideally, you want to be getting as many legendaries and mythicals as you can get. So clever is a must because, well, I mean, it's a 2.25 times multiplier on your XP, so why would you not want that? Now, obviously, the biggest catch here is going to be the fact that, unfortunately, you won't have little to pretty much no resilience on this, because you will have to run Rapid Catcher in order to pretty much make this an instant catch. Good thing about it is that you'll be getting that little bit of extra XP from your ghost. It doesn't exactly affect your luck, but you do technically have to sacrifice, unfortunately, the resilience. Now, to those of you that don't have either one of these rods, I'm going to be completely honest with you. You should probably not even be focusing on leveling up. If anything, you should be more focused on making money right now. And there is plenty of other options that you can go ahead and use to make money where you don't exactly need to be focusing on getting instant catches. So to you guys, I suggest that you go and check out some of my other videos that I've been doing for the last couple of days. And then once you have one of these two rods, make your way back over here and focus up on your level. Unless for some reason you just have like a super sick, demented mind and you really like to put yourself through torture, in which case then you do you, man. Now that we've got that out of the way, let's go ahead and move on to the locations that we want to be. For an extremely long time, especially here on the channel, we've pretty much always recommended that you should be fishing at the Forsaken Shores pond, specifically for Captain Goldfishes, during any type of aurora. And the reason for this is because it gives just incredible XP. But over time, it kind of seems like there's been some type of like phantom nerfs or something like that going on over here. And unfortunately, Goldfishes went from being like the best XP and money to just the best XP to then just good XP every single time that you're running an aurora to it's pretty much now just a regular place where you get regular XP. Now, don't take that the wrong way. Like I said, it is still a viable option during auroras, but there is technically better options now. And I mean, realistically, who wants to spend millions of cash just making sure that you actually level up? So the idea for today's video is going to be to see specifically which one of these two brand new areas are going to make us the most XP. Now, I say two brand new areas, and the reason that I say brand new is because technically Canal is new, but our second option being Depths is not new. But for some reason, a lot of you have been saying that it's nerfed. I don't exactly believe that. And don't worry, this time around, I will be doing the test during the daytime. I heard you guys loud and clear. So now, the way that we're going to do this, very, very simple. Inside of my stats menu over here, I have a player XP. I will go ahead and write down the amount that we start off with. Then at the end, we will grab the amount that we end off with, and we will just pretty much subtract and get the total of how much we actually earned. Make sure that you guys stick around for the canal portion, because there's actually a little trick that was shared with one of you guys in my comment section of one of my recent videos that we will be utilizing for today's video, and I'll also be showing it to you guys because it might be really, really helpful to those of you that are maybe money farming or even XP farming. Either way, for my testing today, I will be using the no life rod mixed in with night shrimp. So before we start here inside of Depths, we are going to be starting off with 5,460,000 165,950. Technically speaking, this bottom portion over here shouldn't move whatsoever, but either way, I'll be taking a screenshot so that way I can very much remember. But let's go ahead and sundial now so that way it is daytime. Let's make sure that there is no type of boost whatsoever. There we go. Moonlit Mirage has ended, no boost, and we're gonna get started right now. All right, so that is the end of the day cycle for depths, and it looks like the final results are 5,600,961. Now, the secondary number did change, but I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna completely ignore that, which means that during that time frame, we made 135,011 XP for that one day cycle. Now, just sort of for the memes here, we're gonna go ahead and also sell our inventory to see how much we made, in case maybe you're interested in a location that's gonna make you good money and good XP. So for the total of money over here, we made 69,544. Now, realistically, I'm going to make that 83,544 because I did get 4 relics. But either way, our next stop now is going to be canals, and we're going to try this all over again, and we'll finally be able to put to rest which area gives the most amount of XP. This also now allows me to show you guys a quick little trick that was shared with one of you guys over in the comment section, and it actually has to do with the oxygen loss that you have here. So technically, this area is considered the mid-tier of the mountain, so you do lose oxygen a little bit quicker than if you were, for example, in the ground level or even the first tier. Exactly where I'm standing right here, there's this weird thing where if you're standing on this side, it's considered frigid cave, but if you stand on this side, it's considered overgrowth cave. Fun fact, overgrowth cave is pretty much the first level, which means that if you fish standing right exactly where I am, you lose little to no oxygen whatsoever, and you can be here for an insane amount of time without having to replenish your oxygen. If you notice, I've been pretty much yapping for like the last, I don't know, few seconds or so, maybe 45 seconds, a minute, 2 minutes. Oxygen barely even moving. Again, all you have to really look for is the moment where it actually changes from frigid cavern to overgrowth cavern. Pretty much standing right here is perfectly fine. So we're gonna put this to the test, man. I'm gonna go ahead and do a full night cycle here, and let's see how much oxygen we actually have left by the end of this. Now, obviously, our XP is going to be starting off here exactly where we ended off on. So I'm going to cycle through these night times, and the moment that we get it, we're going to start up our entire time lapse. All right, so that's the end of the night cycle, and I sort of walked off of the frigid cave there at the end, but if you notice, we're still at pretty much 50% oxygen. To be fair, when we started this, we had about 25% down, so if I had to make a guess, I'd probably say that by standing right here and having a full tank of oxygen, you could probably go for a solid maybe 2 hours, maybe a little bit more than 2 hours, without going back and getting any oxygen, which is actually pretty good. Now, as for the amount of XP earned, we're looking at 5,851,881. Which, if we do the math, that brings it out to 250,920 XP. That is quite literally a 115k difference in XP from the depths area. So I think it's pretty safe to say that, yes, it is absolutely worth it to go ahead and farm for XP inside of Canal. And of course, don't think that I forgot. We are going to sell our inventory right now, which in total, we ended up getting 117,183. Not as big of a difference as the XP. We're looking at about a 33k difference. Canal is going to be better, not only for XP, but also for the amount of money that you're earning. Now, hopefully this finally goes ahead and puts it to rest on where you should be to earn the most amount of XP. I've also been seeing kind of around there people saying that Ancient Owl's Waterfall is still a good option. It wasn't a good option back then, and it definitely isn't a good option now. I don't exactly even think that I personally need to do the test on that. You could probably go do the test yourself, and you can see that you're really not earning that much money in a night cycle. Either way, man, I hope that this helps you guys out. I forgot to mention this in my video yesterday, but this weekend we will have some type of a mini kind of like New Year's update, it looks like, or potentially if you want to look at it like a Fishmas Part 3, because it looks like we are going to be getting some new limited fish this Saturday coming up. Obviously, we will absolutely be live. We'll be able to catch all of them and check and see what kind of buffs, nerfs, quality of life changes are made throughout the entire little tiny mini update. But again, man, I hope that you guys had a great Christmas. I am actually recording this video on Christmas Day, except that you guys are seeing it the next day. I technically recorded 2 videos in Christmas Day, but I personally had a great day and I hope that you guys did as well. Make sure that you guys drop a like on the video if you enjoyed it and subscribe to the channel. I will see you guys in the next one for more daily fish content. Take care, guys.